mathematicians, we're still working on similarities with triangles and figures. And so today we're going to be talking about similarity transformations. You can tell my voice is probably a little bit louder in these because my kids actually woke up. All right, here we go. Similarity transformations. I was trying to be super quiet on the first one so I wouldn't wake them up. All right, here we go. So here's some vocabulary for you, okay? A similarity transformation is when you transform a figure, you move it, you slide it. So a transformation is a slide, a rotation, a reflection, right? And so it produces a similar figure. A similar figure means same angle measurements, but proportional sides, right? A dilation is a transformation that enlarges or reduces a figure. So think about you put a figure on a PowerPoint, right? And you drag the corner to make it bigger or you make it smaller. That's a dilation. That's what we're doing here. The center of dilation is that fixed point from which we make that enlargement or reduction. And a scale factor is the length of the image to the pre-image, okay? So if I look at this as a ratio, it's image to pre-image. And we're going to be doing a lot of this work on a coordinate plane, okay? Sometimes your dilation, your center of dilation is going to be the origin, which makes life a whole lot easier than when it's not. If it's not the origin, what you have to do is shift it, okay, to make the new origin through the center of dilation. And we'll talk a little bit about that too, okay? So make sure you get this vocab down. All right, so the types of dilations that we have are enlargements and reductions. You're either getting bigger or you're getting smaller. Like, that's what it's going to be. Your scale factor in an enlargement is going to be greater than 1. Your scale factor for a reduction is going to be less than 1 and more than 0. It's a compound inequality. All right. Your scale factor can't be less than 0. You're not going to have a negative scale factor. So that's really an important piece to look at this. Okay. So here we go. We need to figure out, let's just real briefly, whether the dilation from figure A to figure B is an enlargement or is it a reduction. Okay. And then we have to find the scale factor. And again, your scale factor is image to pre-image. Okay, it's image to pre-image. So when I look at letter A, what I see is it's getting smaller. From A to B, it's getting smaller. So this is going to be a reduction. When I write that it's a reduction, that tells me my scale factor has to be greater than 0 and less than 1. So I'm going to go from the image, and how I do this is I take one side length. So I have a side length of 3, the image to the pre-image, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So the scale factor, which we use the letter K to represent scale factor, is going to be 1/2. Okay. So it's reducing it. How much is it reducing it by? I multiply by 1/2. It's getting smaller. Okay. All right. So looking over here, going from A to B, I see that it's an enlargement. I can visually see that it's an enlargement. Okay. And I want to go from image to pre-image. So when I look at this side length, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 6 to 2. So it's going to be 6 to 2, which is 3. So my scale factor is going to be 3. So to go from the pre-image to the image, I'm going to multiply by 3. Okay. Here we go. So here's a picture. So Rylan wants to enlarge a picture he took that is 4 inches by 7.5 inches. So I'm going to draw this out. Okay. I'm a huge proponent of drawing sketches to see how to make this work. Okay. He wants it to fit perfectly in a frame that is 400% of the original size. Okay. So if it's 400% of the original size, then we're going to have a scale factor of 4. Okay. A scale factor of 1 is 100%. A scale factor of 2 is 200% is 2. Scale factor of 300% is 3. So a scale factor of 400% is 4. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to multiply 4 by 4 is 16. 7.5 times 4 is 30. the new figure is going to be 13 or 16 by 30 inches. Okay. If you're going to increase it 40% of the original, 400% of the original, you multiply by 4. All right, so here we go. This is that ordered pair that I'm talking about with you, right? So we have the triangle. We're going to plot these coordinates down. So we've got 4, 2, and we've got 1, 3, and we've got -2, -5. All right, so I have my figure. I'm going to draw it in here. Okay, there we go. Now, it's dilated with the origin as the center of dilation and a scale of 5 halves. So what that means is, oops, here we go. The center of dilation is 0. So I'm going to multiply all of these values by 5 halves to get it to be bigger. So 4 times 5 halves is going to be 10, and 2 times 5 halves is going to be 5. So my new image is going to be at 10, 5. That's going to be the new point. So I'm going to use there. So 10, 5. So right there. And then the next one, 1 times 5 halves is 2.5. 3 times 5 halves is 7.5. So 2.5, 7.5 is where the next point's going to go. So 2.5, 7.5, right there. Oops. Right there. And then my last one, I'm going to shrink these up a little bit. The last one is going to be -2 times 5 halves and -5 times 5 halves. So I'll get -5 and I'll get -12.5. Okay, so -5, -12.5. So -5, -12.5 will be somewhere down here. So this new figure is going to look like this. Okay, so it's stretching it out. Now, when you don't have the center of dilation as the origin, there's one added step that you need to do. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to do it. One of the ways is that you can plot all of these points out. So -1, 2, 1, 4, 3, -2. And then -3, -6. Okay, so here's my figure. Okay, now the center of dilation is, whoops, I did this wrong. Let's do this again. The center of dilation is -3, -6. What I want to do is shift it so that the center of dilation is the origin. So what I do, and this is one strategy, you pick the strategy that works for you, but this is what I typically do, is I'm going to shift this whole figure up and over so that this point is now at the origin. Okay, so I need to shift it up 6 and over 3 to get it to here. So this point goes, so then I start at -1, 2. I need to shift it up 3 or up 6 to the right 3. Okay, so then my new figure is now going to be 2, 8. Okay, so if I shift this, it goes up 3, 1, 2, 3. And I go to the right, let's see here. So I go to the right 3, 1, 2, 3, and I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So now I've gone from here to here. Okay. Now, whoops, cancel. Now the next one is 1, 4. Okay. And from 1, 4, I'm going to increase 3 to the right and 6 up. So I'm going to increase 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and 6 up. And that's going to push me all the way to here. So I'm shifting it so that my center of dilation is at 0. And then my last one is 3, -2. And again, I'm going to shift it to the right 6 and up. I'm sorry, to the right 3 and up 6. So I'm at 6, 4. All right, so this is my new figure. Okay, so what I did is I shifted this blue one. So now my center of dilation is here. My scale factor is 2. So that means that now I'm back to where I was here. I'm just going to double all of my coordinates. Okay, because I shifted it to there. So I'm going to double all of my coordinates. Okay, so that's going to be my next row in this little adventure. So I'm just going to put times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 8 times 2 is 16. I'm doubling. My scale factor is 2. I'm doubling it. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 10 is 20. And then 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. So I'm doubling all of those pieces. Now my last step is I need to shift it back down so the center of dilation is back down to -3, -6. So this last step is going to require me to subtract 3, subtract 6. So 4 minus 3 is 1. 16 minus 6 is 10. So over 1 up 10 is my new piece. 8 minus 3 is 5. 20 minus 6 is 14. I'm going to go over 5 and I'm going to go up 14. And then I'm going to subtract 3 is 9. Subtract 6 is 2. Over 9 up 2. Okay. So this figure is now double the size. And that's going to be my final figure. Because I shifted my center of dilation to the origin. So I shifted it all up 3 over 6. Did my magic. And now I got to shift it back. And so this is going to be the coordinates of the new triangle. All right? So when you work on your assignment today, you've got these problems. I also want you to work on numbers 1 and 2 right here. Okay? So all of those will be done and due on your assignment. All right? Have a great day. Catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.